We arrive at the end of the year, so I was so excited to give you my favorite designer release of the year. But voila, that's it. This is Clémence. I talk about fragrance. Welcome back. So this year, as every year now since a few years, there's too many and so many new releases in the designer range. Just before we're touching my favorite, I just want to give you a huge thank you if you ordered my perfume box. This is a collaboration I did with Jovoy, where I put my 14 favorite fragrances in the niche fragrances, and it took me quite a long time to actually choose this selection during the year. There was a lot of work involved by Jovoy and also by me during the whole year, so I want to give a huge thank you to Jovoy Paris because so jovoyparis.com, the main website, the international one, has been sold out just within a few hours, so it was amazing. And we've put more stock in the website, but it was just sold out just again after a few hours. I want to thank everyone that ordered the box. I hope you have a wonderful discovery of these fragrances. And just to let you know, for the people that didn't have the box yet, because I still see some comment that they're looking for it, the only way you can find it now is on the jovoyparis.uk. This is the exclusive UK website. We've put back just a little bit, but that's it. After it's gone, you can go to the Jovoy Mayfair in London store directly to pick up the box, not online. Voila. Right, guys, I'm gonna start by giving honorable mention, so fragrances that I like this year that are not my favorite, but I like them. So I had a lot of pleasure to discover the flanker of Daisy Marc Jacob. This is Daisy Wild. I really appreciated that there was the note of banana flower. I think it gives the banana note without being too sweet. It feels a little bit green as well. Gucci Flora, gorgeous jasmine. I've seen that everywhere on social media. It's a beautiful floral with vanilla. Not my usual kind of floral, but I can recognize that it's a beautiful one. Born in Roma, gold, Donna and Uomo. I have to say I have a soft spot for the feminine version that I think is so beautiful. It's a fresh coconut with wide florals going on. It's not the fragrance of the year to me, a little bit generic, but I actually really like this Solano in Donna. Uomo is more ambery. I wish it could have been maybe a bit more tropical, but still a nice release. Burberry Goddess, that is a vanilla, caviar vanilla kind of fragrance that is not sweet, which is great. So the Burberry Goddess sometimes I liked. I feel it felt just a little bit more retro with the patchouli that was a bit more intense to me. A huge honorable mention to Balmain for coming back finally with a huge collection of fragrance. I have to say, the first time I smelled it, I was a little disappointed because they basically took ultimate classic like Vent Vert. Some are new and some are really classic that they modernized. I'm not too fan of modernizing the thing, I have to say, but because I'm a vintage lover, I kind of wanted to smell what I used to smell back in the days. But the collection is really beautiful and I'm really happy to see Balmain back in the game. Thank the Lord. Thank Olivier Roustin, actually. Thank you. My first top favorite designer release of the year, and it's, believe it or not, a flanker. Millesime Jasmine Shalimar by Guerlain. Shalimar classic, there is this warm, sensual, mysterious kind of ambery fragrance. You have regular flanker of that fragrance, but these kind of one are limited edition and they usually focus in one ingredient that really stand out in the original composition of Shalimar. I think my favorite was the Millesime Iris that I loved. There was Millesime Tonka, that was great. And this is Millesime Jasmine, a little bit more indolic, sexier kind of jasmine. I feel that the jasmine is a bit dirty and have a leathery aspect to it. Jasmine is beautiful in Guerlain. It's a little bit of a greener note as well that is very, when you smell that, you know you have usually like a beautiful natural jasmine. A pinch of citrus as well, a bit powdery. To be fair, it looks closer to the original Shalimar Eau de Parfum. A little bit lighter, not like the Souffle de Parfum that feels more like a vase satin-like. Just to let you know, the perfumer is Delphine Jelk. She did many of the Aqua Allegoria, especially one of my favorite, Coconut Fizz. release discontinued now, Neroli a Vetiver Forte that I absolutely love, and she did the recent Tobacco Honey that is a banger. So, you know, she knows what she's doing in Guerlain, and for me, this is really beautiful. I appreciate the naturality and the vintage take on the jasmine. Modern jasmine would be maybe a bit more sweeter and light floral, white floral, solar jasmine. Next are fragrances for men. 2 fragrances for men from the same brand. So they did really well this year. It's Boss. I always liked Boss, but it never been one of my favorite brands for fragrances. For women, I always thought that the fragrances was a bit bland. I used to like La Nuit Boss bottle. That was, for example, when I started to do my internship in perfumery, that was the fragrance I was recommended to every teenager because it's just very simple. You know, it smells like a bit aftershave, like clean, but in a very boy way to me, you know, like it's a very like a great first fragrance. Usually I don't really like, even though it's not blue fragrances, but usually that smell that is typical masculine aftershave, like I'm not a fan, you know. I do not enjoy this on men's fragrance. You know, I know it's very popular, but that's not my case. So that's good because it's my channel, so I say what I want. Recently I changed my mind, especially since 2 years, I have to say, with Boss, but the scent that is basically, I think, more sensual. Still have a bit that generic smell, but it feels more ambery, more sensual. And I have to say, my boyfriend likes to wear it, and it's not the most mind-blowing on him, but I have to say I really like it. Like, it feels a bit cozy, a bit sexy. As a dump rich in a collection, especially for winter and stuff like this, I enjoy it. They released the scent Elixir. I hate this touche. They're too small. You cannot smell anything in this. Anyway, it smells warm, spicy lavender. So it's great because you have the aromatic lavender that is very projecting and very fresh, but it's nicely contrasted with some spicy, and it's red pepper, generic masculine still kind of smell. But the red pepper gives something a slightly sweeter to me. Yeah, it feels a bit fiery. It's not like incense-like, but there's something fiery to it. And I really, really love that. The projection is divine. Just don't overspray this kind of fragrances. That's the thing, like, you know, like, it's not always good to do like a Jeremy fragrance mode. No offense, Jeremy, I love you. Angel Fantasm. I never thought I would put in my best release one of the flanker of Thierry Mugler. Not impressed at all with the recent flanker of Angel. Make it too popular, too for everyone, and I didn't really like that. The whole thing with Thierry Mugler is to have something that is disruptive. Elixir, for example, for me, it's just white florals and a bit of woody. I've smelled that a million times, so bye-bye. I'm a lover of the original Angel Thierry Mugler. That is the first ever gourmand fragrance created by Olivier Crest. So, and I have to say, I fell in love straight away. I think it's a little bit because it reminds me of the classic much more than the other ones. I wouldn't call it tropical. I think just for me, it's like gourmand sweeter, very much sweeter, especially with heavy coconut smell, pineapple, cherry flower, there is a yellow floral. Actually, the note really gives you summer fragrance. Wouldn't really recommend it for summer to me. Yes, it feels maybe a bit tropical with those kind of cocktail-like pina colada kind of smell. But for me, it's really heavy. It's very sweet. It feels like candy, like bonbon, full on and enveloping. And thank gosh, staying on my skin forever, because that was one of the huge things with Thierry Mugler fragrance. He has to leave a sillage. I'm not going to Thierry Mugler to have something light. You know, I want everyone to follow me with my scent, and this is great. And yes, I always keep a little bit of disappointment with those releases because, you know, I think no one can ever do better than the original, and every time they do a flanker, I'm a bit disappointed because I would like something that is different. And that's what is great with that fragrance. It's super thick, you know. Makes me think of the thickness of Angel Muse. Got it in my collection like years and years ago, and I sold it because I was a student and I was broke. I regret that deeply. Anyway, it used to smell like Nutella. Oh my god. Sogno in Rosso by Valentino. And this fragrance has been created by Fabrice Pellegrin. I went to pick up Jasmine in Grasse with Fabrice Pellegrin this year. Like, very detailed. Usually what he does, he loves natural ingredient. He's from Grasse, and you can really smell it in the scent. Some people compare it a lot to Blanche Bête. That is a full-on milky fragrance. Don't mind Blanche Bête. I think it's great if you like milky. Me, that's not my favorite milky because it's too much. Me, I like fragrances, especially with a milky accord, to be a bit more balanced with something else, especially with woody note. That's usually what I prefer, like Piano Santal, for example. I love those type of things. Here, what I love is that it's, first of all, super unisex. Usually milky, they feel a bit heady or sickening. Here, that's very beautifully done, beautifully balanced with piney juniper berries note. It's not gonna marry the milk with more milky note or more, you know, heavy thing. No, it's gonna put like a fresh aromatic piney accord, woody accord that is really there to give that balance, and I absolutely love that personally. You have a lot of black pepper that you can smell that gives something a bit fizzy, cold resin that is olibanum as well. It's not really mystical, so cashmere-like, like it's so enveloping, so comforting. It leaves an amazing sillage. My boyfriend last time I wore it was like, what do you wear? Like it's really, really, really nice. And usually, you know, we wear so many fragrances at home that it's kind of rare now when he really compliments my fragrance and he's like, that is really nice. I really do not understand people that say that it's a pale copy of Blanche Bête. I'm sorry, no. My only note would be the price. I think it's really expensive, but any designer release in luxury retail is really expensive. I think it's too much, but I love the fragrance. And my number one, of course, is Barenia Hermes. That has to be very polarizing again. You know, I think I only love fragrances that are polarizing. So, Miracle Berry, and this is the ingredient that makes it polarizing because some people, this berry smell a bit like sweet and sour, and people think that is a bit sour. I understand. For me, I really like it. It makes the fragrance even more special. Bergamot, so a lot of citrus that you can smell in the start. That's very the signature of Hermes fragrance. White ginger lily and patchouli, akigala wood. Akigala wood, that synthetic woody accord that is derived of patchouli. Considered as to be like a modern interpretation of a chypre. It's not a chypre totally by the paper. Citrus accord, leathery note with labdanum usually, and a bit of patchouli and green note, mossy note. I find it extremely sophisticated but casual, which is really the signature of Hermes fragrance. Like they make casual chic fragrance. You can wear that with like a simple t-shirt or a simple outfit, but it's gonna smell very elegant. Christine Nagel, the artistic director of Hermes, sometimes I'm a bit confused on what she does, and I'm not always a fan, but this is top grade for me. Actually, it reminds me the classic MICALLEF, more leathery MICALLEF, but like the citrus and the balance of some patchouli, darker note, maybe a bit earthy, even more the Terre d'Hermès. I don't say that it look like, but in composition, it's always like citrus and earthy kind of note. I am living for this kind of fragrance. Let's meet in 10 years, because usually fragrances that are very polarizing like this are usually ultimate classic years after. Fragrances like Angel Thierry Mugler were hugely criticized, still hugely criticized, but it's really revolutionized personally. I'm not saying that this is revolutionizing perfumery, but I say it's a beautiful modern take on a chypre, and I will stand by it, even though it's been highly controversial, I think, this opinion. That is what smell quite luxury. I want to feel sophisticated but still kind of spontaneous. This is amazing. Voila! What are your favorite release in men's and women's fragrance of the year in designer? I will talk to you next time about my worst release of the year. Because there was a lot. If it's your first time here, consider subscribing. It's a huge help for content creator, and you can activate the little bell to have the notification to all my videos. That's again really helping a lot. Voila, that's it. Have a lovely day, and I see you soon. Bye now.
Viens, je t'emmène dans mon paradis bleu.